Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I just received an extra bonus Boxycharm box for the month. This is going to be the Boxy Beauty Mark. Boxy Beauty Mark is something that Boxycharm does periodically to feature brands. They did it last year for Black-owned brands, and this time they're doing it for Pride. All of the brands are owned and founded by LGBTQIA+ community members, so it's a great way to give back and share some really great products from some LGBTQIA+ owned brands. This is all going to be available when this video goes up. It is Monday the 21st in the Boxycharm add-on store, which is exclusively for Boxycharm subscribers. So you do need to be subscribed in order to shop the collection and shop this box. But we're going to do a full unboxing of all of the items inside of this Pride Boxy Beauty Mark. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe because I do upload every other day and that'll be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So if you want to jump into this box with me and play around with some colorful makeup, stay tuned. Okay, so in the intro I did already go over the details of the box and the add-on store and how everything's going to be live. I will link that in my description box, and we're going to do a whole review on all the items as well as a demo and tutorial featuring everything. I do just want to come on and say that I love that the palette wasn't just rainbow, because I used every shade in the palette and I really played with color, and I ended up getting this really beautiful like trans flag blue and pink with a little bit of purple, and I love how it turned out. So we're going to do a whole tutorial on this look and all of the details on all of the product, so let's jump into that. All right, so the first product out of the box is going to be the Dragon Beauty Translucent Setting Powder. This is in the shade Yellow, which is for warm undertones. Unfortunately, I am a cool undertone. My skin is very pink, so I'm not going to be able to use this. But the Dragon Beauty Translucent Setting Powder is an ultralight, silky, loose setting powder for all your blurring and brightening needs. Formulated with flat, hexagonal-shaped particles, it perfectly adheres to your skin, providing a flawless second skin coverage without any color cast. Now again, yellow will be very brightening on people who have warm undertones, just like lavenders and pinks will do the same thing for people who have cooler undertones. For example, I did use the lavender color corrector underneath my concealer today because it does a lot of the same brightening as a type of powder would, but unfortunately this is not in a color I can use because my undertones are, again, very cool. Next, from Artist Couture, this is the Ethereal Bloom Eyeshadow Palette. It is eyeshadow and pigment palette. These are the colors right here. Very pastel. A must-have palette made of 8 richly pigmented pastel and vibrant shades in matte and sparkling finishes to create endless looks. I'm going to be using this right now. So I'm going to start with a dense packer brush, and I'm going to take, I don't even know what I want to do. I'm going to take Goddess, the pink shade in the top right corner, which is a very vibrant shade. I'm taking a little bit on the tip of my brush. I'm not going in with a lot because if these are super pigmented, I want to build it up slowly. So I'm going to start by just dusting that in the crease area and the socket. It's going to look on camera like there's not a lot of pigment. Actually, no, it's looking very pigmented. But I barely touched it, so I'm building it up slowly. I cannot tell you how many times I'm trying out products on camera, and people will comment, there's no pigment. It doesn't look like he got anything. When in reality, like, I'm just taking such a small amount of pressure because I don't want to pick up too much. And once that's kind of built up to where I want it, I'm going to take a little bit more of the same color, and I'm going to pat that in the same area and then blend, just because I do want to build it up. This is a Pride collection, so we want it to be pretty vibrant. Then on the same brush, I'm just going to like flip it upside down. I'm going to go into Flourish, which on camera looks really muted, but it's actually just a soft coral. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to just blend the edges of the pink. Then switching to a fluffy brush with a little bit more flourish, I'm going to blend the edges. Back into that first brush, I'm just going to diffuse everything in the crease because I really like how blown out the transition area is, but I do want to make sure that we really get that blend between the pink and the coral, because I'm going to be going in with some purple too. Basically, I'm using every shade in the palette. Switching to a much smaller brush, I'm going to go into Petal, the purple, and I'm going to pick up a decent amount of this. And I'm going to take that on the outer portion of the eye. I don't think that's going to be dark enough. I'm just going to blend that into the outer portion of the eye just to give a soft purple gradient. One more blend with that first brush just to make sure that we go from pink to purple to coral really smoothly. Next, I'm going to take Glorious, the purple shade, on the center and outer portion of the lid. And then I'm going to go into Poppy, the bright pink, on the inner corner. All right, now that that's on, I'm going to go back into the vibrant pink and just build up a little bit more of that on the outer corner of the eye. The purple is a little more pastel than I wanted, so I really want to build up a little bit more definition. And technically, this pink is the deepest shade in the palette while also being the most vibrant. And then just to build up the definition a tiny bit more on a really small brush, I'm going to go into Eternity, which is the taupey neutral color. And I'm going to add a little bit of this to the outer crease of the eye, just because since it is taupey, the way that those colors mix together is going to leave behind a little bit of a brown. And that'll just add a little bit more shape to the crease. So the mattes are blending out beautifully, and there's really lovely pigment to the formula. I do wish there was just a little more oomph from the metallics, but they are still very pretty. I'm going to throw a waterline liner in my waterline. The next item out of the box is from One Size by Patrick Starr. This is the Point Made Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner Pen, award-winning, smudge-proof, waterproof, 24-hour liquid eyeliner that glides on like a dream to create precise lines that won't fade, flake, bleed, or smudge. You know that I'm not a huge fan of liquid liner, so I am going to use the One Side gel liner for my waterline today because it's the same brand, but it's a formula that I do like. This is in a brown, which the color's a little warm. I do prefer my brown liners to be a little bit more neutral, but because I'm going in with such pink today, I think it's going to be good. And while that is on, but still a little bit wet, I'm going to take a pencil brush and just gently buff it out. Since there's no dark brown or black in the eyeshadow palette, any smokiness that we're going to get is going to be from the liner. All right, and now that we have the liner, we're going to frame around that. And normally I would go back in with more pinks, but I kind of want to use every shade in the palette now that I've kind of like committed to it, and there's only two I haven't used. So I'm going to start with Angelic, the green, and I'm going to smudge that on the lower lash. And then on a blending brush, I'm just going to soften everything. And then when I get to this outer portion of the eye, I'm actually going to blend it together. All right, we are getting there. This is going to be one of those trust the process moments because until mascara and lashes on, it's going to look a little off. I'm going to then go into Divinity, the last color in the palette, and I am going to foil that by wetting it with a setting spray, and I'm going to use this to highlight the inner corner. All right, I'm going to go quickly throw on mascara and a lash, and I will be right back for the next item. All right, next item out of the box, I am also not going to be using, I did mention this in my most recent, I think it was the base box unboxing, but this is from Dr. Brandt. It is the Triple Antioxidant Face Cream, a lightweight daily moisturizer harnessing revolutionary A3 power, great for smoothing, soothing, and hydrating. It helps to reduce the appearance of wrinkles and fine lines, unveiling a luminous, healthy, and youthful complexion, an everyday ally to the support skin's most common concerns. I don't like opening skincare unless I'm ready to use it. Once you pop the cap, this will expire in 12 months, and since I have like 3 open moisturizers, I'm going to hold off on opening this until I'm ready, but Dr. Brandt is one of those brands we've all used. We all know it's going to be a good moisturizer. It's going to be lightweight, but it is definitely something that I'm not ready to use, so I'm going to set that aside for the moment. The last item out of the box comes from Lunar Beauty. This is Manny MUA's line. This is the Lunar Beauty Brilliant Lip Gloss in the shade Dreamy. the gloss to end all glosses. It feels weightless on the lips. It is like a hydrating lip treatment and provides the most amazing glassy lip finish. I did line my lips because I did try this on off camera, I'm going to be honest, and it's so lightly pigmented, like it's very shiny, it is very glossy, but I needed a liner just to kind of even out the color of my lips. So I'm going to take that right on top. See that instant shine? That's beautiful. Now, I do have other glosses of his, and I am a huge fan of the formula. They're really lightweight, they are beautiful on the lips, and I just love how high shine they are. Tell me that that's not beautiful. And that is everything out of my Boxy Beauty Mark box. Once again, Add-ons store is open exclusively to Boxycharm subscribers, so you can shop all of the items in this look, in this collection, right on their website. So that is available now. Go check it out, and let me know what you think of all of these items. Obviously, I'm a huge fan. I think this turned out beautiful. And I'm not gonna lie, I love that I was able to play around with color for Pride, and I'm getting a lot of like trans flag vibes, and I'm really happy with that. Because you know what? Pride is not just rainbow. There's like 1,000 different letters of the LGBTQIA+ community, so let's support all of them. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!